everyone, Willith here, and today I'm flipping the script and asking a very cursed question. Does the Alliance actually need humans? Spoiler! Yeah, kinda. I know, asking this is like asking, does Stormwind need a king? Or does Anduin need therapy? Or does Goldshire need to be shut down? Yes. Always yes. Now, let's begin. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing I did for the Horde races. We're judging humans based on their lands, resources, political power, and what they contribute to the Alliance as a whole. Humans are the founding backbone to the Alliance. Without humans, the faction would be basically a bunch of elves having emotional breakdowns, dwarves blowing up their own mountains, gnomes turning everything into a death trap, Draenei vibing in crystal spaceships, Worgen eating the carpet, Pandaren politely pretending everything's fine, and the Void Elves existing ominously. Humans are, in fact, the connective tissue, the duct tape, the default setting of the Alliance. So, asking if the Alliance needs them is like asking, how important is the motherboard in your PC? It's the thing that makes everyone else work together. Thus, humans are already getting a very high score, because without them, the Alliance is just a very dysfunctional family reunion. Shout out to Paige's plants and bucket pals! The only place where your garden grows, your yarn flows, and your existential dread slows. Whether you're planting peace bloom or trying to crochet something that isn't accidentally shaped like Cthulhu, they've got everything you need to keep your home cozy and only mildly cursed. Stormwind is the Alliance's capital, military hub, naval powerhouse, and the only city with good real estate that hasn't exploded in 20 years. Well, kinda. Here is what Stormwind offers. A massive population, best military in the Alliance, huge naval power, trade routes everywhere, incredibly strategically secure, Goldshire, not a benefit, but we can't pretend it's not there. Stormwind is the backbone of the Alliance economy, the center point of trade for more than just the humans, and their main military power location. It's literally the Alliance's Orgrimmar, but prettier, less spiky, and with fewer labor violations. Alright, Westfall. So, I know the lore states that it's an agricultural powerhouse, but I find that hard to believe, at least to a point. Especially because it looks like it hasn't rained since Classic WoW, and with all the bandits and a very dry climate. However, that's only mostly true of Western Westfall, and honestly, I feel like the Alliance would have dealt with all the bandits by now. Like, dude, it's been years, they've thrown everything at them. Anyway, Eastern Westfall has a massive river that they can use to irrigate their crops and just be incredibly productive. As for Western Westfall, they're more good for grazing lands and just herding rather than for farming, making Westfall a powerhouse of grain, crops, meat, and wool production. Eastern Westfall is basically carrying the entire zone like a single mom with 2 jobs, a mortgage, and a farm that actually has water. Meanwhile, Western Westfall is like, we have dust and cows, take it or leave it. And nowadays, Westfall is finally improving. Less Defias, more actual food production. But yeah, basically Westfall is pretty essential to the human lands. Elwyn Forest. Ah yes, the comfy tutorial zone for all new Alliance players. It provides a huge forest full of lumber, farming, waterways, and the single safest entry point for anyone joining the Alliance. Elwyn alone could feed and clothe half of the faction if needed. Not to mention, it's a very secure and well-fortified zone. Okay, Red Ridge is incredibly secure. Like, genuinely Ironforge level lockdown, but without the dwarves yelling at you for tracking mud on the floors. This place is literally a natural fortress. Any major threats, honestly, should have just been gone years ago. The region has 2 real entrances, north and south, and that little mountain pass to the sea that doesn't really count. Just slap a gatehouse on it, post 2 guards and a dog, and boom, impenetrable! The zone is also rich in ore, perfect for keeping the human war machine running. And strategically, Red Ridge is the Alliance's cozy little shield against anything unpleasant wandering down from the burning steppes. It's the world's most scenic buffer zone, mountains, lakes, and only occasional monsters. Red Ridge is so secure that even the gnolls need to roll natural 20 and get written permission from their clan leaders just to attempt a raid. Okay, listen. Duskwood is terrifying. haunted, cursed, and probably sentient. The region offers lumber, magical herbs, and because of the river, some pretty solid farmland too. And honestly, I'm sure the Alliance has found a way to cure most of its corruption by now. Also, look, I know people in Deskwood don't canonically eat spider legs, but you cannot convince me that the zone with 50,000 giant spiders isn't at least thinking about it. At some point, somebody absolutely went, hey, what if we just crack the legs like lobsters? And then the entire village collectively pretended they didn't hear him. Because let's be real, a man from Deskwood isn't just killing Nerubians because they're enemies. He's getting his fix for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which is horrifying on at least several levels. And honestly, I always thought eating spider legs was an Australian thing. Alright, conclusion. So overall, the human territories offer an absolute mountain of lumber, fertile farmland, and enough exports to feed half the Alliance and still have leftovers for a harvest festival pie eating contest. Their zones are well fortified, easy to defend, and perfectly positioned in the heart of a major trading network. So honestly, that's a clean 10 out of 10. The resources, the strategic trade routes, the military strength, humans are basically the Alliance's "we've got this" backbone. Valuable assets? Absolutely, and Stormwind knows it. Humans are the Alliance's Swiss Army knife. They do everything. Foot soldiers. Humans are the Alliance's largest army. Paladins, infantry, knights, spellcasters. They fill literally every role. Political leaders. They don't just lead Stormwind, they lead the whole freaking Alliance. Every race relies on human diplomacy. Agriculture and trade. Humans produce the bulk of the Alliance's food, lumber, and trade goods. Without them, half the Alliance is eating mage-conjured bread forever. Magic and religion. Mages, priests, paladins. Humans produce incredibly powerful spellcasters. Flexibility. Humans can do any job in the faction. Military, trade, politics, naval command, crafting, diplomacy, exploration, adventuring, accidentally starting wars, and then accidentally ending wars. Humans basically fill any gap the Alliance needs filled. And they have the largest population within the Alliance, so they can cover more roles and take more losses than any other race within the Alliance. Now, they do have some downsides. Here are some of their flaws. They age fast, they die fast, they are consistently starting something. Humans are magnets for demons, old gods, political drama, weird cults, and that one necromancer who always shows up in Deskwood. Their cities keep blowing up. Goldshire exists! But even with all that, humans are still the most reliable race on the roster. So their usefulness is 10 out of 10. Humans are the gravitational center of the Alliance. Their vote is worth a lot. Stormwind has the biggest army, the biggest population, the strongest economy, the most stable city, and the most political influence. Most races rely on the humans for either protection, trade, housing, diplomacy, or military defense. In Alliance politics, Stormwind isn't a voice. It's the megaphone. So 10 out of 10 political power. Right, the final score. This means humans get a 30 out of 30, placing them in S tier as the most essential race in the Alliance. Without humans, the Alliance collapses faster than a gnomish prototype. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed this deep dive into whether the Alliance actually needs humans. They do. Like, they really do. Like, it's honestly just concerning. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, see ya!